Welcome to the September 2014 edition of Tech in 10. We're going to be talking about parent communication this time. Communication with parents in the 21st century has changed drastically. It's no longer limited to just flyers, handwritten notes, stamps or notes and agendas, phone calls, face-to-face quick conversations at pickup or at meetings. Not that any of those forms of communication should be eliminated, especially not the face-to-face communication and personal phone calls. However, we need to think about how we can add to our repertoire of communication to meet our 21st century parents' needs. In 2012, the National Speak Up Survey, which collects data from administrators, teachers, students, and parents about how they're using technology and how they would like to use technology, collected the following data from parents. Over 90% of parents say that they want to use email to communicate with their schools about their children. Over 50% say a portal with grade information. 47% say they want to communicate using text messaging. 35% say an app. And 25% say a class blog or a web page. This information has changed drastically in only a few years. For example, in 2010, only 5% of parents indicated text messaging was how they wanted to communicate. And by 2012, it was up to 47%. I can't even imagine how it has increased now that it's 2014. So, what can you do as a teacher to communicate with these 21st century parents? I've got 4 solutions for you, each of which addresses one of the ways parents want to communicate digitally, and none of them will cost you any money. Yep, they're all free. So, with 90% of our parents wanting to communicate using email, let's talk about Outlook for a little bit. Now, I'm not going to tell you how to send an email. I'm pretty confident that you already know how to do that. However, I'm going to talk about how to make it a little bit easier to be able to send out a mass email to your parents. So if you go in Outlook to your contacts and you drop down the little arrow next to new, you can actually create a distribution list. So that newsletter that you make copies of and important notices, these can be emailed out to the list also. So all those papers that get lost on the way home can hopefully make it to those parents' hands. So when I choose new distribution list, I can name my list, and then I'm going to click Add New. This is going to allow me to add email addresses and the parents' names. You may want to put the student's name in parentheses just to know which parents are which. If I click Add to Contacts, it's going to add that parent to my contact list as well when I click OK. I can add several parents, as many as I need to. When I'm done listing all those parents, I click Save and Close. When I want to go to send an email to this list, all I need to do is right-click on this list. I'm going to choose Create New Message. This is going to allow me to send a message to the entire list, all at one time. Now, of course, you're still going to want to send individual emails, so that's why you'd check that box next to Add to Contacts so that those people will be individually added to the list, to your contact list also, for easy access to email those parents. Remember, if you're using email, make sure you respond to parents within 24 hours. If you don't have an answer for them within 24 hours, just respond with a simple, I'm working on getting that for you. I should have it by a specific date, and let them know the date you should have an answer for them. If you just don't respond, it gives the impression you're ignoring them, and we definitely don't want that. So our next option is called Remind. Now, if you used Remind 101 in the past, it's the same company. They simply changed their name during the summer of 2014. Remind allows parents and students to sign up to receive text messages or email updates from you, and there's now even an app for Apple and Android users. Remind allows you as the teacher to write quick reminders like don't forget picture day tomorrow to have sent out to all the parents and students on the list. You can schedule those reminders ahead of time to be sent on a specific date and time. A couple things to keep in mind. Don't send more than 1 message a day. In fact, 2 to 3 messages per week is probably preferable. Also, it's one-way communication. Parents and students can't reply back to you. Remind allows you to text parents and students safely, as phone numbers are not shared, so you can't see their phone numbers, they can't see yours when you're texting. The next option is Edmodo. In Edmodo, parents can actually create accounts. These accounts are an observational tool only. Parents aren't allowed to reply or send direct messages through Edmodo, but it does allow them to log in and see their child's posts that include direct messages between you and their child, upcoming assignments, upcoming events, alerts that you send the class, and any messages you send directly to your parent group for your classes. Edmodo also has an app available for free for Apple, Android, and Windows 8. To find parent codes to provide to parents, once you're logged into Edmodo, I'm already logged into mine, I can click on Model Classrooms, and within this Model Classrooms, you're going to click on, within your group, you're going to click on Members. And for student members, if you click on More, there's going to be an option to find a parent code. For more information about parents getting accounts, if you drop down your account in the top right corner, you can go to Help. This Help section in Edmodo is amazing. You can either go to I'm a Parent to get information, or in the I'm a Teacher section, under Getting Started, they have a section on how to sign up parents. So you as a teacher can get information on how to get those parents signed up for Edmodo. My final suggestion is for middle school teachers only. It's regarding FamilyLink. FamilyLink is the online portal for grade information for middle school students. As a teacher, you don't actually need to log into FamilyLink. You just need to log into Schoolmaster Gradebook or go to Web Classroom. Once you log in, there's a few options you have. The first is the general message when you set up FamilyLink. The general message is displayed for all students in your class. You should include information there on email, like your email and phone number, and any information that'll help parents understand your gradebook. That general message will be seen on all of the progress reports all parents see in FamilyLink. Your next option is called Assignment Notes. When you're adding an assignment to your gradebook, there's an option to add an assignment note. That note is posted for all students, so it can be seen by all parents of students who have that assignment. You're going to include notes like the project was assigned on such and such date and they had 2 weeks to complete it. Consider using them on assignments parents might have questions on, especially if students don't score well on that assignment or they don't turn that assignment in. Your final option in Schoolmaster is to utilize what's called Mark Notes. Mark Notes are specific to students, which means only the parent of that student will see the note. Use Mark Notes to include information on whether a student was excused from an assignment, absent, didn't turn it in, or other information like that. Some of the middle schools do use specific school-wide codes for Mark Notes, for example, AB for absent or EX for excused, so make sure you abide by those marks if they apply to you. Include the information on those codes in your general message for parents to be able to decode those marks. Utilizing these messages and notes, the marked notes, the assignment notes, and the general message can reduce the number of questions and address parents' concerns when they're looking at their child's progress in your class. Whether or not you use one of the tools I shared today or some other means, the important message is that you just need to communicate with those parents. They want to know what's going on. And just because you use digital tools to communicate, it by no means takes away the importance of face-to-face communication in those phone calls, especially for the digital communication that's only one way, like Edmodo and the Remind 101 and the Remind. This wraps up our September Tech in 10 session. Thank you for your time.